welcome to In My Kitchen. As you know, every week we have someone else who comes into my kitchen and prepares some sort of a dish for us. And as always, we have somebody that I have not met before in the real world. So join me, won't you, on In My Kitchen with Chet Milligan. And that's me, Chet Milligan. Okay, according to my information here, I have, an heiress named Nono Nanette. Hello. All right.
Hello, Chet.
Welcome to my kitchen.
Well, I'm just so happy to be here.
Are you?
I'm so glad that your people and my people were able to find a sensual space where we could both be together.
Oh yes, and you're here to make a favorite dessert.
Oh yes, and I can't wait to share all of the exotic different things that I learned.
Speaking of exotic, you brought some animals with you to my kitchen, which is unusual.
Of course, I never travel without my spirit animal.
Well, it's actually a real animal, not a spirit.
Tutunini Nick Nick. That's her name, Tutunini Nick Nick. Let me go ahead and... Oh!
Tutuni Nick Nick.
She's being my inner spirit self, which is actually quite shy, if you would imagine that. Of course, other personality types have taken over since then, but my inner spirit animal is Tutunini Nick Nick.
Tutuni Nick Nick and Nono Nanette have been on the road in France and Belgium, and they've gone as far as the Netherlands, just as performers, it seems. What is the nature of your performance?
Oh, it is something different. It is poetry, it is song, it is dance, it is experience, it is screaming, it is bleeding, it is everything. It is everything at once. I am a lounge singer, and through those songs bleeds forth the human condition, which, as every actor knows, that is our ultimate goal.
Well, I think that's a very interesting thing, but...
Oh, Tutunini!
Tutunini.
She's been enjoying his presence backstage, I don't mind letting you know.
Well.
She's had a couple of rounds with him, as it were.
Yes, you mentioned bleeding earlier, and I actually relate very much to the bleeding part of your monologue.
But I really can't wait to share with you,
Hello, Tutik.
my public,
Sit, Tutik. Sit, Tutik.
all of my exalted, exotic delicacies.
Yeah, speaking of exotic, right, that's where we were. So speaking of exotic, you love animals. Is that part of your work and where your fortune comes from?
Oh,
No,
absolutely, absolutely. This year I am in the year of the rooster, dog, cow. It is 3 complete separate realms of existence, and it is very difficult to balance all of it. But, nonetheless, I have decided to bring a decadent dessert to you and your audience for the benefit of all, because it is just unfair that us, the absolute upper echelon of society, are alone gifted with these amazing sweets. And so I share with you this coveted secret dessert.
It's a recipe that comes from your family, it says here. It goes back generations?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Wow.
That book
Cool.
sat on that shelf for more years than I've changed underwear.
Okay, and I love the idea of an old family recipe, and you know, family is important. So actually, I see a little bit of where you're coming from here. You have an old recipe that you're going to share with us today on the show, and I'm really looking forward to it. And maybe we'll get a song or two out of Nono Nanette and Tutik Nick Nick when we come back. And we're back. Hello everyone, welcome. I would like to make sure that you are all aware of the newest sensation from across the pond, Nono Nanette. Nono is here today to talk to us a little bit about a recipe that she has kind of been concocting for dessert.
Yes, I'm so happy to be here. And of course, I'm so happy that your people and my people found a little section of time where we can get together and I can share my cultured exploration as far as the palate is concerned.
Cultural exploration.
On my endeavors abroad.
So where does this cake come from?
Okay, well, you know, a lot of people call it cake.
It's not a cake.
It's too small of a. It doesn't encompass what this is, which is really a delve, a spiritual delve into all of these ingredients and how they dance and how they orgy together and come out with a wonderful final product. Nothing like their individual parts. It's really, it's God at work, and I'm so glad to be able to share this with you.
That is a lot. Now, it says here you're going to talk about the ingredients. In fact, that was the only thing it said.
Oh, yes. Well,
question.
this is not so easily attained, unfortunately,
No.
but I wanted to give you and the viewers at home a taste of celebrity life, I thought,
I'm glad you thought.
let's do this
All right.
by the book.
So the ingredients then are, these are very clear ingredients.
So the first is this kind of, how do I even describe this? It's like a magical potion powder.
Is it?
It's a fine graining of multiple plants. I mean, like only druids or strange people that live only in the wilderness their entire life can find and grind,
What do you call it?
Well, it has no name. It's just this magical element of a perfect mix, a spiritual mix. I mean, these people that are chosen to do this mixing, they do not. They're hired or voted by their village elders or something of that nature. You can imagine.
Is Pillsbury the name of one of them?
Could be one of the. Yes, this is the tribe that I found.
You found.
In a street market in Zimbabwe after escaping quite a situation.
This.
Yes.
So this is the magical mix.
This comes from very far away and is only a specific combination done only in that part of the world. But if you can go onto the internet and go ahead and find.
It says actually right here that it's actually born in Minneapolis, Minnesota. The Minnesotans know a lot about Pillsbury.
How exotic is that? I mean, what is that? Is that an island? Is that a city? Is that somewhere in
Minnesota? It's actually, yes. Yeah, Minneapolis is a place in Minnesota, which is a place in the United States. But anyway, that's fine.
Such a joker, such a joker.
It's
of course
one of those-
it's not, no one's ever heard.
It's a Tuesday. So what are we going to do with all of these magical ingredients that you brought to my studio?
So this powder, this magic potion, turned dry.
Well, I guess actually...
You go ahead and cut that open. And then you go ahead and collect that in your cauldron.
Yes.
Right? Oh, it seems a little paganistic.
Yes. Very rococo.
Oh, yes. Very against I love it. So what it is
I don't know what.
They have these containers that have certain spiritual... I can't go into it in detail.
They're called bowls.
But the point is, it gathers all of these elements. It's strong enough to resist the gathering of all of these elements. And so...
Plastic.
The next.
Yes.
There is... And I don't even know that your local butcher might even carry this. But...
For a cake?
There is a rare, exotic avian I saw once on safari, and it had this beautiful plume of pure white feathers. It was just this air spirit from heaven.
So you need a bird in order to make this dessert.
There are certain young tribesmen far off in wherever they go and live and are.
Sure.
And they are hired to be the huntsmen of the whole tribe.
Wow.
But only for these sacred avians. And they go into the wild and they watch them and they help nurture relationships between them who then mate.
They go into their nests and do they take their eggs?
They are hired to kidnap their young. No, I know how hard that is.
Eggs.
I know how hard that is.
The next ingredient is eggs.
But you'll need 3 eggs.
3 of them. 3 eggs. After the magic potion from Zimbabwe, says you?
Oh yes, very far away, very far away. We're just going to go ahead and kidnap these souls.
Well.
3 of them. But...
It's emotional, I guess, if you really like chickens.
And just appreciating where all of these worlds come from. And that's the thing, by the way, and through, what you're going to do is respect each and every ingredient. Really think about its culture and history, and then when you add them all together, you're going to have a much better taste than when you just yelled at your waiter or waitress to go ahead and get you the crown rack of lamb and dipped in the light lobster sauce just because you were feeling pissy and you knew that meal was going to take an hour to prepare because you were prepared to flip out at 35 minutes. But the point is,
It's not a personal story.
we're moving on with the next ingredient.
Are we?
Yes.
Are we really? Oh.
Now, we've traveled
Well,
to the exotic Mediterranean.
Oh.
Have you been?
to the Mediterranean, I got a tan once.
Oh, that's wonderful, wonderful. Me too. On the beach property of someone, oh, I forget, Elton John? I can't even remember anymore. But the oil gathered by virgin nuns on a mountaintop of virgin olives that have never been touched by other manly olives.
Olive oil.
Extra virgin olive oil.
Extra
We're gonna
virgin.
go ahead and get half of a cup of
When
that.
was the last time you were an extra virgin?
Well, I played one once, and it was to very good reviews. Very good.
Whose?
Point is, the last ingredient. Well, the second to last ingredient.
We're
But
so close.
the second to last ingredient is going to be
I got it. This is easy one. This one's not going to take long at all, ladies and
pure
gentlemen.
collected, driven snow, collected from a mountaintop, melted, and then brought right to me. Now, if you don't have access to a mountainman, then you can just go ahead and use your own water. The thing that comes out of that metal thing in the side of the wall. I've never even been in that room. But the point is,
Faucet.
sure. Use that and collect this much.
How much is it?
Oh, it's 2 cups.
Okay, I'm sure. I'll take your word for it.
We're gonna go ahead and just
You seem like a trustworthy narrator.
put that right in there. Oh, the tingle, can you see it? Oh, just close your eyes and see it. That tingle, all of that togetherness.
We would have brought you closer, but an upward shot is so expensive.
The last ingredient, ladies, is a good man,
Why
which
can't-
is hard to find. Mix it.
Well,
And then you'll be ready for part 2.
they're right. Oh, and it smells delicious.
Don't confuse yourself and do 2 things at once. Keep mixing.
Oh, I should spend more time in the kitchen at my home. I forget if it's a left or a right after the first floor bathroom, which I had redone recently. I had it redone. It needed to be redone. There were pipe issues. And we're back.
Yeah, that's great. Look at that.
So, is this ready to
Okay.
be popped in an oven? What do we do
We're
next?
just gonna do a couple of more spins.
Oh.
But I want you to go ahead and come on over here, like my Price is Right.
Okay, I can do that.
Yeah, one of them.
Okay,
Sure.
does everyone want me to get up
I'm
and...
gonna want you to go ahead and get my furnace going.
Oh,
as
yes.
I say.
Oh, turn on the oven. You are correct.
Yeah, sure.
They gave me a responsibility here.
350.
350 is what it says.
350 perhaps.
Okay.
Let's go ahead and do that.
Oh, well.
And this is half the battle, you know.
350 start, probably.
Okay, that was a total of 2. 2 buttons.
That's not so bad with this. Now, of
I
course...
mean, if you're overworked, and ladies, I know, you can just go ahead and use 1 finger on each hand for the total of the 2 that you need to do to complete this moment.
This doesn't seem difficult at all. Is this all you know how to make?
No, not at all, but we're not even done, my friend. No. Now we're going to get the magical holder of said potion. I believe down in that bottom drawer we may find something apropos.
Let's see.
Of course, that square, that... Oh, there it
Okay,
is.
I see. This guy's a cake pan.
Oh,
Looks
you
like-
know what? Now
looks like
you
a
can
cake
go
pan.
ahead and do this. Now this would be better for brownies, however,
Do you have a circular cake pan?
I believe I do, and I think that it's going to be
He could use whatever he wants for this. Really.
a much better experience to go ahead and do that spring.
Oh, the spring form. I've only
the
read of
spring
these
form.
in books and the stories people tell.
So, here we are. Nice and easy. We pop that in. We close. You know it's tight. It's one of the other things that you can trust that is. Now we're going to go ahead and grab. Can you hold that for me?
I can
I'm going to do the absolutely classic, happens in every household during cake brownie mixing time. The old scraping of the bowl.
The scraping of the bowl. We used to sing in my house.
And then, of course, the coveted trophy of who gets this disgusting spoon, dripping with all of this unmade nectar of the gods.
You know, I'm okay with not having a spoon.
You don't want any nectar of the gods.
I do not want the nectar of the gods. I do
Ooh,
not.
the nectar of the gods. It's a little goopy. But that's a good sign for us.
It's a good color. I like the color.
Sure.
It's again kind of a pink.
Yes, of course. Who wouldn't want this splashed on them?
I don't know if you can see it because shadows are just awful. But do I put it in the oven, or what does it say here for me to do?
Well, once you are at the accorded 350, we are going to not sit and watch a watched pot boil.
Oh.
Because we have cocktails waiting outside.
Oh, is that true?
Oh, this is true. I don't travel with that. But what we're going to end up doing instead is waiting while we have those wonderful drinks for, roughly 30 minutes or so.
Okay.
And then we can come back for the next part of our program.
I am actually off at 6 tonight, so I think someone else will be finishing the... I have a contract dispute to open up with, and we'll be back right after these messages. What time is it?
So, we're going to use a oven glove.
That's quite weathered.
Apparel just for an appliance. That's what I think the selling shot should be for that one.
Okay.
We're gonna pull out our cake that's been cooking for, as mentioned before, 30 minutes.
Right.
Oh, and look at that.
It's a cake.
Oh, it looks perfect.
Like the mix on the box.
Okay.
Springform pan.
Springform pan, and
These are-
that, ladies and gentlemen, is why we do that.
If you haven't taken anything away from this, a springform pan could save your life. Buy yourself a springform pan.
Of course.
Springform.
Oh, absolutely. Now,
The springform pan.
we want to apply a level of magic to this that has not yet been seen.
For everyone-
Now, this is a unique color that I used for one of my studies. I had Ralph Lauren create this color specifically for me, and then they went ahead and made an icing color of it. Let me go ahead and get that for you.
Springform pans, there for everyone's kitchen. Not just your kitchen, everyone's.
Okay, so our magic happens right on this screen.
Oh my god, look at that, the perfect cake, you're insane.
Now, I know that a lot of people like to use a spoon or a knife or something of that nature. We're going to go ahead and try with a knife. I normally just make sure that my hands are absolutely clean and smear it all over with my hands.
You just bring a machete with you wherever you go and just solve the whole problem right there.
Now, this kind of magic concoction, these are the color of petals tucked away in the Mediterranean. This is sugar harvested from the bowels of the Asian. This is African spirits combined to make this absolutely beautiful color.
Purple.
Now, this is so much effort.
Could have just said purple.
And along with that is, yes, color-coded sprinkles for on top. All you have to do is use a handy knife and when you're done, you'll have a slit right down the middle. You peel that apart.
So I've got a little bit of all over the set there.
And then we go ahead and sprinkle when we're done. But first...
You sprinkled earlier than you should have then.
Well, let's get to the fun part.
I would love that.
Let's go ahead and smear, shall we? I'll bring us both 2 utensils.
That
to
would
use
make
for this
sense.
endeavor.
So, according to this, the cake mix is used and mixed together and then cooked for 30 minutes and then brought directly out for people to cool, and then apparently you just ice it. I've never iced before, so what can you tell me?
Hog wild, I say. I want the entire container to go right on top of this. Now, the good thing is I always wear gloves, so I'm perfectly safe for touching the side of cake. I can help be the one to keep it centered as we go.
You'll have to, because I am pushing it with the knife, apparently. This is some sort of a strange
Now, I know that
creature.
It's a little crazy to operate, but I'm going to go ahead and operate the sides.
I feel we're doing
Hold
this
on
wrong.
one moment.
I feel that this is not how you ice a
See, now
cake
here's
properly.
the most wonderful thing about it.
I've lost my...
You can't go wrong.
According to this, it says that you use a cake and you cook it for 30 minutes, and sometimes you're helped in the kitchen.
Yes, of course, and now this is the realm.
The realm of...
Where a cake maker...
A cake maker. A caker.
...makes a name for themselves.
Caker, that would be the name I would choose for that job. A cake maker should be a...
I don't mind telling you, having the
Caker.
right bit of artistic flair on your decor as far as dessert is concerned, well, you can live a very long time in this.
You can live in the
town.
cake or in the town. Oh, I thought you meant within the cake.
No, inside of the... Well, because that would never work out.
I wouldn't think so. I only know of a couple of people who've gotten inside of a cake, and when they came out, most things ended and did not begin for them.
Well, then you're going to go ahead and make sure that you get a good level.
Yes.
Now, I'm tackling the sides. Hold on one moment.
It does feel like a bit of a tackle, because if I actually go the wrong way...
Of course. It's
yards
just
of
a
trouble.
group effort at this point.
How many people have you had ice a cake in your life before? Like the
Oh,
most?
I've had so many people ice my cake.
That's why
I can't tell you how many people have iced mine.
That's why they say ask only the questions on the cards. That's why.
Yes.
Could you get a little further away? I see one of your animals is still wandering around the set, uncontained, which is exciting to me.
We've done the first basic layer. Excuse me.
Yes, I see you've gotten some of that purple on my finger there.
And what I'm going to do is, and then this is the last closing trick,
That's quite good.
you put the remainder of it
That's quite good.
right in the center because you want the apex to be at the top.
This is really good.
Because it's always at the top.
No one told me this would be that good.
And then you go ahead and just
That is delightful.
love this in a circle.
Murray, have you had any of this?
And I really feel like it's zen, icing a cake, you know. And you learn that you never really make a mistake. It's kind of like those gardens where you make the sand in certain directions. What are those?
Mandalas. I love this. This is delicious.
Absolutely. Then that's the word. And now once you're done, really it's a matter of aesthetics. I'm just making it pretty, but I'm also, because I have a little bit of experience,
we wouldn't call it
making sure that it's just as thick everywhere.
pretty? Would anyone call this cake pretty? I don't know.
Now
I'll have
good.
the knife if you're done with it.
Oh, of course. Because I'm going to move us on to the next stage.
Which is...
I'm just going to peel this way.
Well, yes.
Oh, that aluminum foil.
Delightful. It's refreshing.
Silly and coy and just like metal, but you peel it away with such strength.
That's aluminum foil.
Yes, of course.
I'm not ripping metal here.
Right. Now, of course, I'm just going to shake that about.
They're all about the set now. They're everywhere.
You know, there's just a wild indulgence of this.
I don't...
You just...
you know, whoever has to clean up this place is going to have a nightmare ahead of them.
Oh, other people in other unions. Certainly not us.
Certainly not.
Oh, thank Beelzebub. We're done.
We're done.
Now, before you move any further,
What's this?
you'll go ahead and you'll clean off the rest of your palette, of course, down here, and cover,
I have a personal question to ask you.
refrigerate.
I'm going to go off script right now and ask you this question. do you leave the bottom of the spring-form pan under the cake? Do you? Do you leave the spring-form bottom under the cake? Because it seems like you do. Are you the kind of person, I'm just asking you, are you the kind of person that leaves the spring-form bottom underneath the cake?
Of course, it provides the structural integrity of the entire piece.
I see people who move it, who just, it's now off of the base of the spring-form pan.
Reckless newbies.
We want people to understand that springform cakes work both ways. And we are not taking sides here, but the debate must be asked.
They have two roles. To not only establish the form, but to maintain the form once completed.
You are absolutely right. You're an artist, and I'm sorry I didn't respect that earlier, because
Well,
clearly you know what you're talking about, and this is just so good.
well, wonderful, wonderful, I'm glad. And once this is chilled, you will see you have made heaven in a circle.
Murray, you have to have some. Just come. Who cares? Just what difference does it make?